The post-credit scenes of Spider-Man Far From Home were loaded with huge reveals and gigantic steps forward for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Hello, Comic Book Nation, BD here, and major spoiler warning. We are about to break down the 2 stingers attached to Spider-Man Far From Home with some insider info from the filmmakers, so consider this your warning. Spoilers ahead. The first stinger saw Spider-Man landing outside of Madison Square Garden with MJ, only to see a newscast take over the screens there. It turns out Mysterio framed Spider-Man as the criminal behind the faked elemental attacks around the world, and he was working with the Daily Bugle to get this news out. First of all, this is almost exactly what Mysterio did in his early days in Marvel Comics. Introduced in The Amazing Spider-Man number 13, Mysterio was a Hollywood stuntman and master of visual effects. After seeing that the Daily Bugle was trying to label Spider-Man as a criminal, he had the bright idea to frame Spider-Man and pose as the hero himself. Peter eventually cleared his name by recording a confession from Mysterio, so the big reveal of Peter's identity in the post-credit scene is pretty much a combination of those early comic book stories. But it got better! J. Jonah Jameson appears as a Daily Bugle host and slams Spider-Man as a criminal, played by the original Spider-Man trilogy's J. Jonah Jameson actor J.K. Simmons. Now, this is a brand new take on the character, despite being played by J.K. Simmons. Here is what director John Watts has to say.
Yes, it's a new take on the same character that happens to be played by the same actor.
As it turns out, they were never going to include the J. Jonah Jameson appearance if J.K. Simmons wasn't on board with it. Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige also has plenty to say about it.
It was an idea we had from the very earliest conversations. If we, Marvel Studios, get to work with Sony and make a Spider-Man movie, we want to bring Jameson back somehow. In thinking about who it could be, we really thought JK as an actor is so versatile. And you look at his amazing iconic performance in the Raimi films, but then look at his amazing performances in Whiplash and in other films. It can be the same guy but a different tone and tap into sort of the more modern news personalities of today.
Still, despite my best efforts, I could not get the answer to the long-running question of who bought Avengers Tower.
How awesome is it seeing him swing around at the end of that movie and with the web wings glide through a under construction version of Avengers Tower.
Who bought it? Tell me.
I didn't see a sign there.
Tell me
yet.
who bought it.
Yeah, I don't think they put the sign up.
I tried. Then comes the second post-credit scene, which was somehow just as mind-blowing as the first. Nick Fury and Maria Hill are on FaceTime, which is where it is time to show their faces. Plot twist, they've been Skrulls all along, but only in Spider-Man Far From Home, not like all along.
First of all, to clarify the timeline, that's real Nick Fury at Tony's funeral at the end of Endgame.
Okay.
So it's not like he's been a Skrull forever.
The Skrull aspect of it all explains why Nick Fury was fooled by Mysterio instead of sniffing out his lies like he does with everyone else.
It always sort of bothered me, even though we knew that that's what we wanted the story to be, that Nick Fury could get duped. Even though he's been gone for 5 years and he's on his back foot, like, I wanted to come up with one last little reveal that could explain that unanswered question. And when you're making a con man movie, it just feels like the right thing to do, to have one last little twist that makes you look at everything slightly differently.
The immediate reaction to seeing Skrulls posing as humans on Earth is that the MCU is headed toward a secret invasion story. This is a popular comic saga which saw a bunch of evil Skrulls posing as Avengers heroes and otherworldly figures as a means to infiltrate the Earth and take over.
Just like not all humans are bad and not all humans are good, I think Skrulls probably have a variety of moralities amongst them. And when they can do what they can do, it's fun to have introduced this concept and see where it goes.
Talos, the Skrull introduced in Captain Marvel, is only posing as Fury because Fury is off-planet with the good Skrulls. It's hard to tell, but he is putting everyone to work and launching what is probably Sword, which is essentially Space Shield, and he might be on the Peak in the only shot we see of him. The Peak is Sword HQ, orbiting out there constantly, and what's most interesting here is that Sword was thought to be a Fox-owned Marvel property, and it's now appearing in the MCU right after Disney bought Fox. Characters who have been members of Sword in the comics include Beast, Abigail Brand, Lockheed, Spider-Woman, and Carol Danvers. If Sword is launched, it opens the door to see space criminals like Adam X, Beta Ray Bill, and more. Did you catch any details in the post-credit scenes of Spider-Man Far From Home you think we missed? Do you still have any lingering questions about what's next for the MCU? Drop them in the comment section or send them my way on Twitter and Instagram @BrandonDavisBD, and stay tuned to Comicbook.com/Marvel for more.